After tonight, Wild Hockey will go dark for 20 days in the state of hockey. But before they go, Minnesota looks to head into the break on a high note. The Wild have been playing some of their best hockey of the season, thanks to a pair of American leaders. Who will shine tonight before the Olympics take center stage? Find out next. Wild and the Predators at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul tonight. Our Xcel Energy Spotlight gives you an idea of what's coming up in the Olympic tournament that will start on February 12th. The United States, in a group with Russia, Slovakia, and Slovenia, will start their tournament play on the 13th of February. Quarterfinals will take place after the qualification games on the 18th, quarters on the 19th, and the medal round games will take place the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. All the NHL players that are a part of this tournament will leave from either New York or Atlanta on Sunday and fly together to Russia. Now let's go to public address announcer Adam Abrams.
Greatly serve our country. Now, please sing loud and proud as James Bone leads us in the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, over the next 2 weeks, the eyes of the world will be on Sochi and the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. A number of the NHL stars playing in tonight's game will wear the uniform of their country as the world watches the greatest hockey players on the planet battle for the gold medal. In the spirit of the games, please join the Minnesota Wild and Nashville Predators in congratulating these players and management personnel by wishing them well in the Olympic Games. Representing Canada, from Nashville, Shea Weber. Representing Finland, from the Wild, Mikael Granlund. And Mikko Koivu. Representing Switzerland, from Nashville, Roman Josi. And Simon Moser. And from the Wild, Nino Niederreiter. And representing the United States of America, from Nashville, serving as head equipment manager, Pete Rogers. And skating for Team USA, from the Wild, Ryan Suter. And Zach Parise. Also not in attendance tonight, but we'd like to recognize Team USA General Manager and GM of the Predators, David Poile. David, we wish you a speedy recovery. Fans, please give each of these Olympians a warm send-off with our best wishes for success and fair play in the Olympic Games. Now, please move your attention to the top of section 110 for a special introduction. This Warroad native attended the University of North Dakota, for whom he played in the 1979 National NCAA Championship game. His professional hockey career started off with a bang, scoring just 7 seconds into his very first shift, a record that still stands for the fastest goal by a player in his first NHL game. But perhaps he is best known for being a member of the 1980 Miracle on Ice U.S. Olympic gold medal hockey team from the Lake Placid Winter Games. Ladies and gentlemen, capping off our tribute to Olympians tonight, please welcome Dave Christian. Take it away, Dave.
All right, Wild fans, it's time to drop the puck. So everyone, say it with me. Let's play hockey!
And we are set for the opening faceoff in the final game prior to the Olympic break for the Minnesota Wild. The Predators, even though the visitors wearing gold, the Wild in their road whites on home ice tonight for the second time this season. Play in the Minnesota zone. Gabriel Bourque tried to play it behind the net. Granlund has him tied up in the corner. Spurgeon got it to the line, but Weber holds. His shot deflects wide. Craig Smith is there. He tried to center for Legwand. That was broken up, and Parisi starts back. To Pominville at center, who fires it in. Hutton out tried to play it. Granlund's the first man on it in the corner. Pominville emerges with the puck for Minnesota. To Prosser at the point. His long shot got through, and Hutton makes the save. Our Northland Ford starting goaltenders.
Well, Hutton's 4-1-1 in his last 6 games. Coincidentally, maybe, or maybe not, he really started to put some good games together when they acquired their goaltender, Dubnyk. That, of course, Darcy Kemper, 12th consecutive start for the young netminder, and he will take the Wild right into this Olympic break.
Wild win the draw. Prosser carries down low. Niederreiter dumped out front of the net. Prosser still with it. Centers. Brodziak had his stick tied up by Matt Cullen. Cullen plays it up the boards to Hornquist. Hornquist forces it by Prosser and then stumbles through neutral ice. The Wild gain control of the puck. Jonas Brodin played it ahead at neutral ice. Comes across to the near side where Matt Cook collects the puck for the Wild. Back into his own zone for Prosser and ahead for Niederreiter. Niederreiter into the Nashville zone, tied up by Moser. The puck winds up behind the goal. Delzato plays it across to Seth Jones, and the Predators come to center. Icing waved off as the puck deflects in behind Kemper. Ballard bobbled it, still managed to play it out to center. Wilson has it there, plays across for a long shot by Yossi. Stoner got it to the line. Danny Heatley there for Minnesota. Taps ahead for Coyle. Coyle across to Zucker. Zucker tried to center it, hit a skate, and Wilson starts back for the Predators. Wilson hits the Minnesota line. Spurgeon got a piece of it. Kemper steers to the corner. Opted to keep the puck alive, and Charlie Coyle now has it. Coyle ducks back into his own zone. Got it to Heatley at the Nashville line, who deflects it in so Minnesota can get a change. Ryan Ellis starts back for Nashville. Bartley to the Minnesota line. Puck deflects up and out of play. Our Toyota key stat. Minnesota has had some success of late against Nashville. They've won the last 2 meetings, each by shutout. In fact, it's been nearly 169 minutes coming into tonight's game since Nashville has scored against the Wild. And Mike, they've only scored 3 goals in 3 meetings. A 5-on-3 power play goal, a 5-on-4 goal, both coming on the same power play, and then a penalty shot.
Yeah, the Predators and the Wild typically do play close games, but that is something that they want to alleviate in this one. They have not had the kind of offense that they expected.
haven't scored a 5-on-5 goal against Minnesota, although the penalty shot goal technically counted as an even strength goal. That was the last marker. It was scored by former Wild Eric Nystrom. Matt Cullen draws against Erik Haula. Cullen was unbeaten against Haula on the faceoff dot when the teams met last in Nashville. Keith Ballard back in his own zone. Plays ahead for Torrey Mitchell. Mitchell, Haula, and Fontaine, the fourth line for Minnesota tonight. Stefan Veilleux, who was a member of the fourth line Tuesday night against Tampa Bay, was sent to Iowa earlier this afternoon.
One thing you mentioned was this is the last game for the Wild, but it is not the last game for the Predators before the break.
Pominville to Granlund. Granlund centered, and Parise was tied up by Weber. Puck went just wide. Parise in to grab the puck, out to the point for Suter. Suter to Pominville. It deflects off the heel of his stick, and Smith is back at center for Nashville. Smith to Bourque. Fires from the wall. Kemper got a pad on it. Kemper with another save on a sharp angle shot. Spurgeon tried to get it to Granlund. That's intercepted, and Bourque carries to the corner. Centers for Smith. Smith played across to Leguan, but he was tied up. Out to the point, and it hops by Seth Jones. Comes all the way back into the Nashville zone. And Jones, the rookie defenseman, waits for a line change to finish. Niederreiter with a takeaway along the boards. Plays across to Brodin. A shot, scores!
My goodness, what a laser beam there by Brodin. That's one thing he has done to assert himself this year, is to shoot the puck more, step into the play more. Niederreiter really does a lot of the work along the wall to keep the puck in the zone, and he buys time with his size and his strength. But the rest is taken by Brodin, who busts in the zone, and from the top of the circle, man, he must have turned the puck on its side or something, because it just made it inside the pipe.
First goal in 17 games for Brodin. He hadn't scored since late December against the New York Islanders. Icing called here against Nashville in a face-off back in the Predator zone. Niederreiter the only assist on the Brodin goal. And Minnesota has the early lead against the Predators.
Well, some of the encouraging things about this goal, and of course the Danny Heatley goal last game, is the players that assisted on it did not give up. It was all second effort. They did not give up on the play, and they helped create offense by winning puck battles along the wall. And this one right across to Brodin.
Coyle plays to the corner. Heatley around behind for Zucker. Zucker tries to withstand a check. He's knocked to the ice and lost the puck. Heatley tries to keep it alive for Minnesota. He's hit by Nystrom. Zucker hustles to the near side. Spurgeon able to get a piece of it, and then Coyle holds his own for the Wild. Ellis with it. And the puck deflects up into the Predator bench area. Wild with the early lead against Nashville.
Well, watch this. The Wild are on a line change, and the Predators try and come out of the zone, but they exit the zone with too many players, and the Wild all of a sudden have numbers coming back in. Great work there by Niederreiter on the wall, and he gets it across to Brodin, who makes a very, very good shot. But line changes are key, and you can't underestimate a team busting into the zone on the forecheck. And as I mentioned earlier, Niederreiter really is the one who created that chance by winning that puck battle and then giving his team an opportunity to get it down into the offensive zone.
Haula shows great hustle after losing the faceoff. Came back to intercept the puck at his own blue line. Now the Predators dump it in. Nashville just 6-21-4 when their opponent scores the first goal. These two teams are among the 6 for which that stat is most important in the National Hockey League. The difference between their win percentage when they score first or allow the first goal. Predators number 5, Minnesota number 6.
I think you can easily say that both these teams think from a defense-first standpoint, even though they certainly like to score, but these teams certainly want to take care of their own end first. And that stat often hinges on that kind of play.
Smith shot. Kemper made the save, but couldn't find the rebound, and the Predators tie it.
What an awkward bounce that was off the gear of Kemper. He thought he had it. It hit him looked like in the chest and bounced out of his gear. And it just sat in the crease. Was unable to find it in time. Wondered if this maybe deflected coming in on him, because normally he's very certain about that kind of play. But if it ticked off somebody's stick, then it would have likely hit him in the chest and bounced off of him without him being able to corral it. But that certainly is one that Darcy Kuemper would like to have back.
Snaps a Predator scoreless streak against Minnesota of over 174 minutes.
And you mentioned the circumstances that the other goals that they've scored recently on them, you can add that to the list, because that certainly isn't a typical goal that you'll score, especially on Darcy Kuemper lately.
Bourque for Nashville. Granlund intercepted at center. Now Bourque has it back. 17th goal of the season for Craig Smith, who now has 5 points in his last 5 games. Wild and Predators even at 1.
Welcome back to downtown St. Paul. The Predators and the Wild are tied at 1 here early in the hockey game. A nice special day yesterday for Ryan Suter. A shave send-off here alongside his father, Bob, who won the gold back in 1980 at Lake Placid. A little good luck shave for Ryan Suter as he heads off to represent his country. And we asked him about Team USA and his team's chances.
I think our team is, we got a good group of guys. We got a lot of speed, a lot of smarts, and, a lot of guys who've played international hockey. So I think it'll help us, and just really looking forward to the challenge and to being in the Olympic environment.
Guys, a tough act to follow. That gold medal game in 2010, one of the best hockey games anyone's ever watched. And obviously, we'll talk more about that in our special face-off tonight in the first period with Mike Russo. And you two gentlemen, it's going to be outstanding.
We'll give you our picks during that first intermission on who we expect to emerge with the gold medal in Sochi. Suter, a big part of that silver medal winning team for the U.S. in 2010, had 4 assists in the Olympic tournament.
Experience means so much in these international tournaments. Plenty of teams with returning players. Some last-minute changes here for a few of them. Something that we'll also discuss in that first intermission.
Prosser back for Minnesota. Got it to the line, but not out. Now across to Brodin. Matt Cook sets up along the boards. Got it to Niederreiter. Niederreiter spins away from Bartley. Tried to center. It deflects to the far corner where Prosser has it. Niederreiter behind the net. Niederreiter battling for position. Forced outside by Ellis. Bounces it to Brodziak. Back in behind for Niederreiter. Shoved up against the boards by Ellis. And his pass to the point intercepted by Nystrom. Nystrom dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Hornquist in after it. Brodziak back for Minnesota across to Matt Cook. Wild are changing, so Cook plays to the corner. Applies some half-hearted pressure as the Predators are able to clear. Ballard back to pick it up at neutral ice. Cook deflects it in as he heads to the bench to complete the change. Delzato back to pick it up for Nashville. Loose puck comes free, and Heatley sent it just wide. Zucker to the point for Ballard. Ballard bounces it down low for Coyle. Coyle's double teamed in the corner. Dumped by Wilson. And Wilson comes away with the puck. Ahead to Taylor Beck, who comes to center. Fires it in where it's gloved by Kuemper. Pushes it aside for Clayton Stoner.
Another one oddly handled there by Kuemper. Tried to drop it and play it, but Nashville's right on him. Keep an eye on that. They might start dumping it in on him.
Bartley jumping in from the point. Bobbled the pass, or he'd have had a good scoring chance. Ellis fires, and it's blocked by Stoner. Heatley across to Stoner. Stoner plays it in, and Minnesota will change. saw Heatley looking across to see if Zucker was sprinting up the far wing. The Wild have used his speed, and that line has used his speed very well over the last few games.
They're a bit of an eclectic line, aren't they? Danny Heatley is a shooter. Of course, you have Zucker, who has a lot of that speed, and Coyle is kind of a bull out there.
Weber flips it to the line where Gaustad relays it into the Minnesota zone. Centering pass intercepted, and Fontaine races back for the Wild. Fontaine retrieves his own dump in the corner. Haula pokes it behind the net, just out of the reach of Mitchell. And the Predators are back the other way. Fired in by Legwand, and again Kemper seems handcuffed by a bouncing puck.
But that one actually did bounce. It looked like it took about 3 feet of air right before him. He's going to have to be careful here.
Spurgeon slides it across for Suter, and Fontaine comes to center. Trying to go all the way across to Granlund. It's tipped and intercepted. Yossi races in. Saved by Kemper, and the puck again loose. Swept away by Suter.
Well, he got a lot of help. You remember last game, Suter swept him from out from behind Kemper. He does it again right here.
Granlund works his way behind the net. Centers for Pominville, and he's stopped by Hutton. Brodin works his way all the way down the blue line. In Pominville to Parise, back to Pominville. Across for Suter. Suter looks for a lane, fires, and it deflects into the netting and out of play.
The Predators with a couple of opportunities, but still can't get it to go. Mikael Granlund, he has 15 shots over his last 4 games. It's helped him put some points on the board with this line. Right here, though, early on in the game, he tries to force one to Zach Parise. I mean, he was one-on-one with the goaltender, and he tried to pass it to a player that was covered. I think that's where you don't defer to the veteran, and you take the shot or you take the opportunity. But he has done a better job of it lately. Hopefully he doesn't revert back.
Parise whips it across for Suter. Pominville dumps it in. Yossi, first man back for the Predators. Flips it ahead to Bork through neutral ice into the Minnesota zone. His shot goes just wide. Yossi could not hold. Weber's back to pick it up for Nashville. This top D pairing, both headed for Sochi for the Predators. Yossi will play for the Swiss. Weber for Team Canada. Brodin to Brodziak, who's able to relay it through neutral ice. Bartley back to pick it up. Wilson at the Minnesota line has it knocked away by Stoner, who's able to bounce it out of the Minnesota zone. Stoner back to pick it up. Crosser to Brodziak, and he did not get a tip, so it'll be icing against the Wild. Tonight's game goes to a shootout, and the Wild win. Everyone who brings a printed box score to participating Minnesota Arby's stores will receive a free order of curly fries. The offer is good for tomorrow only if the Wild win in an Arby's shootout tonight. Cook able to poke it ahead for Minnesota. Niederreiter trying to join the rush. Cook shot blocked by Ellis. Withstands an Ellis hit, centered it, but nobody home for Minnesota. Brodziak had headed for the bench on a change. Gaustad plays it in. And we're going to get a penalty called against Nashville as Ballard was hooked on the play. And the Wild will get a power play chance with just under 8 minutes left in the first period.
Nashville penalty 16, hook.
Well, and the good thing is for the Wild that they've found their mark here in the last 4 games. They've scored a power play goal in each of them. And that was not much of a hook, but enough to draw the penalty. And the Wild with the man advantage now, able to get their top unit out there.
Wild power play, 4 out of their last 12. That came immediately following the 0 for 24 stretch. Weber able to clear. Nashville's penalty kill has slipped a bit lately, and they're down to 24th in the NHL. Just under 80%. Parise plays it in. Suter able to hold.
Great skate save.
Parise tries to center. Hutton's down. And the puck gets by Suter at the point, all the way back into the Minnesota zone. Kemper out to play it, and will leave it for Suter. 80 seconds left in the Wild man advantage. Zach Parise into the Nashville zone. Spins, plays it back to the point for Suter. To Parise along the wall. Parise looking, goes to Suter. All the way across to Pominville. Centers for Heatley, who tipped it over the top of the goal. Parise back to the point for Suter. Suter works to the middle. Pominville. Back to Suter. And now Pominville. Heatley in the middle, has space. Goes to Parise. Scores!
Such a smart play here by Danny Heatley. Watch the pass come to the middle and everyone converge on Danny Heatley. Patience, 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 and find the open guy, which is Parise with a rifle over the shoulder of the Nashville goaltender. What a shot from the circle here. That's not an easy angle to score from, but because Danny Heatley was so patient with the puck early on, he even had the goaltender focusing on him, so when the pass goes over to Parise, he has a bit more angle to shoot from. Beautiful shot here by Zach Parise, who's really lit it up. You see the bend in the stick. He really leaned on it a lot, and he picked the same corner that Brodin did earlier in the game.
Heatley, who had the game-winning goal Tuesday night here against Tampa Bay. Now 5 points in his last 4 games on 2 goals and 3 assists. He's always been a thorn in the side of the Predators. Now 27 career points in 24 all-time games against Nashville.
Daryl Sador having a power play discussion, no doubt, with Heatley and Parise. Smart play, though, because Heatley really didn't have a ton of time to turn and fire that with everyone coming in on him. He does the right thing and finds someone else.
Second time tonight, the Wild have had a 1-goal lead. Ellis to the far side where Bourque plays to the line, but Coyle holds. His shot got through. Blocked by Hutton and controlled by Bartley, who plays it out to center ice. Legwand too far for Smith, who plays the carom off the wall. Last one off the blocker of Kemper, who then has to make another save on the rebound from the far boards. Legwand out to the point. Good at the line as Delzato was able to hold. Smith bumped by Suter. Back to Delzato. Delzato tried to play down low. He was looking for Bourque. He was tied up by Coyle on the play. Shot by Jones winds up wide. And Justin Fontaine is there for Minnesota. Gloved and dropped at center. Charlie Coyle with Zucker breaking to the net. Coyle on the backhand. Tipped by Zucker and just wide. Coyle got it back to Zucker on a pad save by Hutton.
What a shift by Coyle.
Zucker after it along the wall for Minnesota. To Niederreiter and down low to Coyle. Coyle bumped by Jones. Strong on the puck as Coyle works his way out of the corner. Back to Niederreiter. Niederreiter stumbled, then feeds the point. Brodin. Brodin a long shot. That was deflected wide. Cook to Niederreiter in the corner. Tried to go to Prosser. It was deflected, but Brodin holds his own. Brodin lays it back in the corner. Cook delivers a hit. Delzato comes away with the puck. He's hit by Niederreiter. A lot of pressure applied by Minnesota. Brodin pinches to hold. Niederreiter's after it on the far side to Cook in the corner.
This is where fatigue starts to set in here a bit for Nashville. I know they haven't played since Saturday, but still.
Prosser winds and fires wide off the end glass. And Hutton senses trouble and will cover. Great shift for Minnesota after Zach Parise put him on top with a power play goal. Team USA in the 2010 Olympics. He scored a goal in the gold medal game that he'll not soon forget.
What athletes talk about, when something happens, you kind of black out. You don't really remember what happened after, and that's how it was. Everything was such a blur after that. And the first thing I kind of came to it, the last thing I remember was the ref giving me the puck, and then the overtime starting. So it was the feeling. I'll never be able to describe it. It was awesome.
Parise scored in the final minute to tie that gold medal game. Canada won it in the overtime period on a goal by Sidney Crosby. And those two will again be two of the marked players in this year's Olympic tournament, which starts February 12th in Sochi. Weber has Niederreiter pinned to the boards in a battle of future Olympians. Josi swoops in and grabs the puck across to Beck. Dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Kemper clears to the wall. And the Wild are 2-on-2 at center. Brodziak with Cook. Ellis starts it back the other way. Ahead to Wilson. Beck puts on the brakes. Cut off by Pominville. And Pominville goes to Granlund, and then Parise at center. Parise to Pominville. Pominville winds and fires. Saved by Hutton. And the puck was loose for a moment, but bounced right back into his arms.
Wild with a shot mentality here lately as they see some pucks going in. Pominville, even though he's from a sharp angle, feels that with Parise on the ice and him streaking to the net and the way that these guys connect, maybe an errant rebound would be just what the doctor ordered. Love this line combination. It's stuck together and produced, and it continues to do so even on chances.
Draw comes across where Smith controls. Smith, who has the only goal for Nashville tonight, into the Minnesota zone. Now Parise at center ice. Settles a bouncing puck and dumped it in. This was played with a high stick, but Brodin will negate that as he goes back to play it for Minnesota. To the point, Weber able to hold. Now Granlund has it for Minnesota. To Pominville. Parise back to Pominville. He's tied up by Josi. To Prosser at the point. Ballard fires. It was tipped. Loose for a moment. Pominville couldn't get there quickly enough. Josi able to carry out. Sidesteps a man into the Minnesota zone. Forced to the outside by Ballard. Threw it off the side of the goal. Prosser there for Minnesota. To Pominville behind the net and back to Prosser. Less than 2.5 to go in the first period. An entertaining opening 20 here in St. Paul with Minnesota on top 2-1. Goals by Brodin and Parise for the Wild. Sandwiched around a Craig Smith goal for Nashville. Seth Jones fires. Pad save by Kemper. Suter wraps it off the glass where it's picked up by Danny Heatley. Heatley with Zucker. Heatley waits. Tried to cut to the middle. Bobbled the puck. Spurgeon recovers. Back to Heatley. He was tied up by Jones. Zucker plays it behind the net. Heatley knocked down along the boards as the Predators set up. Just over a minute and a half remaining in the first period. Brodin stumbles as he battles with Beck for the puck, and then Haula dumps it in for the Wild. Hutton turned it over. Mitchell to Haula. It was in his skates and he couldn't get a shot away. Wilson battling with Haula in the corner. And it's finally the Predators that control. Taylor Beck comes to the Minnesota line. Brodin battles with Mosier along the wall. Wild start back with Torrey Mitchell. Across for Fontaine, just onside at the line. Legwand able to clear to neutral ice. Mitchell's tied up there. Legwand centered, was deflected by Fontaine. Mitchell could not control. Bourque plays across for Josi. Josi, who's been very active in the first period, carries around the Minnesota goal, still with the puck. tried to go to the point, but it hit Brodziak's skate and comes back into the Nashville zone. Cook intercepts an errant pass. Matt Cook in for Minnesota. And it's put checked away by Weber. Niederreiter intercepts. Back to Cook. Tried to center as Niederreiter was breaking back for the goal, and now it's covered by Hutton. Our Menards game reset. Wild have beaten Carter Hutton twice. Once by Brodin, once on the power play for Zach Parise, his 10th power play goal of the season. Craig Smith snapped a 174-minute drought for the Predators against the Wild with his 17th goal of the season. That's where we stand late here in the first period.
Darcy Kemper has settled down a little bit since allowing that crazy rebound. And the Wild have pressured well since then.
Granlund trying to catch up with the puck along the wall. It comes out to center. Suter to Parise. Closing seconds of the opening period. Granlund fires toward the net. Hutton steers aside. And the first period comes to an end with Minnesota on top on home ice by a score of 2-1. Our CenturyLink link to what's next. We'll have a preview of the upcoming Olympic tournament. We'll weigh in on our selections for who will win the gold medals. But before we get to that, Kevin Gorn will be joined by one of the Wild goal scorers. 2-1, Minnesota.
Welcome back to downtown St. Paul. We get set to drop the puck on the second period. Daryl Sador, the assistant coach, joins us. Your coach was worried about the focus this morning because of the break that's coming up. How'd you like the first 20?
Well, it's always a concern, but the focus is there. They're professionals, and first 20 was, I think a little bit back and forth, but we regained it, and we talked about it in between periods, and now we need a good 40.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Guys, up to you.
Thank you, Kevin. Mike Yeo talked about the fact that teams in every league deal with the pressures and the distractions of playing the last game before a holiday break, before an all-star break. And he was worried about this one because Nashville has another game, so they might not be looking ahead quite as quickly or as likely as the Wild would be. And he said, I want our guys to clean the slate and erase their minds and get away from hockey, but not until after the game tonight. Underway in the second period. Wild wearing their whites at home for the second time this season. Legwand slides it ahead. Smith backhands it wide. It's tied up by Suter. Brodziak able to dig the puck loose for Minnesota. Plays to Spurgeon behind the net. Spurgeon, who played over 21 minutes in his first game back the other night. Just under 7 in the first period here against the Predators. Wild are going to be offside. Puck comes out to center. Granlund tried to sneak it into Pominville. Intercepts a pass intended for Hornquist. Across to Parise. Parise tried to go back to Pominville, and that hit a skate. Predators back with Nystrom. Has his shot blocked. Brodin banks it ahead for Parise, and now Pominville with it. Pominville to Parise. It got through, and Hutton got a skate on it, deflecting it to the corner. Nystrom back at center. Drops for Yossi, who fires. Saved by Kemper, and the rebound was loose. Kemper smothers a loose puck. The bizarre day for the Nashville Predator organization here at the Xcel Energy Center before the game today. David Poile was hit by a puck and is in a hospital here in St. Paul. Broke his orbital bone.
And of course, Pete Weber suffered a heart attack and was taken to a different hospital. So those of you who think they're roommates, they're at separate hospitals. Both recouping here. I went to visit Pete Weber this afternoon. He's resting comfortably, as he tweeted there. He was my very first NHL broadcast partner back when I worked for the Predators. He's been there ever since their inaugural season back in 1998. Back when Craig Leopold owned the Nashville Predators even. And so we wish him well. We wish David Poile well. Of course, this is interesting for Dave Poile, who's the GM of the U.S. team. So, I mean, I would say it's going to be very difficult for him to jump on a 9-hour flight anytime soon, but you never know. We'll see. Best wishes to both of them.
Off the post by Bartley. He's the president of hockey operations and the general manager here of the Predators, and was watching the morning skate from the tunnel behind the Nashville bench and took a puck that deflected up right in the face. Penalty coming against Nashville as Kemper was run over in the Minnesota crease. Danny Heatley pushes it ahead for Charlie Coyle. Coyle spins away from Gaustad, plays it back in his own zone for Ballard. And Weber, of course, the longtime television play-by-play man for the Predators. Wish them both well.
Well, the Predators fire a puck at the net. It did.
Nashville penalty 41, goalkeeper interference.
Catches iron here, and immediately after that, they get tangled up with Darcy Kemper. You got to stay away from a goaltender's blue paint area. Got to let him have an opportunity to make a save, and getting tangled up costs you a couple of minutes. So Beck goes off. Wild with a good opportunity here to show some separation in this game.
Scored on the power play earlier. Zach Parise, his 10th power play goal of the year. That ties him for third in the NHL, in spite of the fact that he has played at least 10 games fewer than everybody else on the leaderboard. Only Alex Ovechkin and Chris Kunitz have more power play tallies than Parise this year. Suter's shot deflects to the corner. Granlund double team behind the net. Yossi emerges with the puck, clears to the line, but Suter holds. Right back in, knocked down by Granlund in the corner. Parise to Suter. Suter across to Pominville. Then Parise fires and hit escape. Suter back to Parise again. To Suter in the middle. Parise in the circle. Plays down low. Granlund across to Pominville. A shot and a save by Hutton. Parise to Granlund. Leaves it behind for Parise. Granlund with it. To Heatley in the circle. Back to Granlund. Down low Parise. Granlund with it again. Granlund looks for a lane all the way across to Pominville. Centered. Parise got a tip. Hutton holds his ground to make the save. Granlund fires and it's blocked. Heatley after it along the wall.
Hutton's just made two of his best saves of the hockey game. Both on backdoor feeds.
Weber could not clear. Heatley got a piece of it. Tried to get it to Granlund along the wall, but that's intercepted and cleared. Still 40 seconds in the Minnesota power play.
By rights, they should have a power play goal. Pominville had a great opportunity and made a great save. And then another pad save on another redirect.
Zucker races in with speed. Pushed it across for Coyle, who had broken to the net. And the Predators were able to clear. Wild with a power play goal now in 5 games in a row after the marker earlier tonight. Zucker to Niederreiter. Niederreiter puts on the brakes to Spurgeon. Back to Niederreiter. Final seconds of the power play. Coyle lost it in the corner. Got it back, but Spurgeon had given away the line, and the Predators are back at full strength. Good pressure by Minnesota, but they fail to capitalize on the power play chance, and the lead is still 1 goal. Wilson tried to center. Brodin got a skate on it. And Zucker's deflection winds up in the Nashville bench area.
Well, this is a familiar sight. Granlund to Pominville. Look at this speed, cross crease. And Hutton does a very good job of just locking down the net. He takes the middle away. Pominville did get enough on that to score, but a great save. Pominville then gets one to Parise. That one's redirected as well, slightly. So these 3 guys have combined so well lately, and they're doing so well on the power play. They just couldn't get those 2 to go.
Mitchell battles in the corner. Predators come to center. Moser to the Minnesota line. Played it across. Wilson had his stick lifted as he tried to fire. And it is icing as Bartley just does win the race against Matt Cook. Military Appreciation Night, presented by Thompson Reuters, is March 3rd. The Wild hosts the Flames at 7. Active and retired military members can purchase a lower-level ticket, hot dog, chips, and a soda for just $50. Visit wild.com/military for tickets. Brodin. Rodziak hits center. Matt Cook with him on the wing. Forces the puck into the corner. Delivers a hit up against the end boards. Bork tried to play it across. Legwand handles the Karen. Now Bork into the Minnesota zone. His shot blocked by Spurgeon and picked up by Mitchell. Heatley bobbled it at the Nashville line. And Suter recovers the puck at center. Whips it across for Spurgeon. Howland back to Spurgeon. Spurgeon again wearing those protective shields on his skates. He wore them in his first game back Tuesday night against Tampa Bay. I talked to him a little bit yesterday. He said he really liked them, didn't notice them at all once the game got going.
Yeah, very lightweight. They don't eliminate injuries to the feet, but they certainly mitigate them. They are formed to a player's skate, the boot of the skate, so for the most part, you shouldn't really notice them. There are some guys that are a lot more sensitive, though, in that area and would rather not have any at all.
Fontaine brings it in, tried to play it across for Stoner, but it was deflected by Nystrom, and Yossi banks it off the end boards for Delzato. Delzato, acquired from the New York Rangers earlier this season, pushes it ahead for Yossi. Yossi to the Minnesota line where Gaustad tipped it in. Ballard puts on the brakes and spins in his own zone. Stoner to Pominville, and now Parise at center. Granlund with him as he enters the Nashville zone. Granlund has it knocked away by Yossi, and the Predators come back. 3-on-2 if they hustle. Gaustad forced to the outside and tried to bank it back for Cullen, but it's intercepted by Granlund. Parise all the way across to Prosser, who had jumped up in the play. His centering pass at the side of the net. And it's sent all the way down. Icing will be waved off as Brodin catches up with it before it reaches the goal line. Jonas Brodin for Minnesota. Across to Charlie Coyle. Coyle brings it in. Pushed to the wall by Bartley. Coyle still with it. Tries to spin to safety. Got it through. It was tipped by Parise on goal. Hutton got a piece of that. Smith has it knocked away, but Weber's there to play it into the Minnesota zone. Bartley fires, they score. Looked like it was tipped by Smith on the way, and the Predators have tied the game at 2.
No, definitely a redirect there, and Kemper's reaction really tells you he went down in the butterfly, which was what he was expecting, a shot right to the middle of the body, but watch him pop back up right at the end as he realizes it's being deflected. He just couldn't get that big frame up high enough in time, but it's just a beautiful redirect here by Smith as he goes right up and uses the crossbar as well to put this game at a tie 2-2. Both teams were playing, more so maybe Nashville were playing fairly patient, but already 4 goals in this hockey game, and we're not even half old.
Second goal of the game for Smith. His fourth multi-goal game of the season for the Predators. Now has 18 on the year.
I would say that one was a little more earned than his first one, but nevertheless, there's still a couple of markers for him.
6 points now in his last 5 games on 2 goals and 4 assists. Spurgeon to Suter behind the net. Wild able to get the clear. Icing waved off early. Hutton pestered by Heatley behind the net. Suter bumps Moser off the puck. Wilson tangles with Spurgeon. Suter pushing and shoving along the boards. Coyle has his man tied up, and Heatley comes away with the puck to Suter. Into the Nashville zone to Heatley. Bobbled it. Couldn't get it to Zucker. Wilson brings it in. Drops it back to the point. Back tried to go all the way across. It was intercepted by Suter. And Zucker starts back for Minnesota. Just too far for Coyle at the Nashville line. Delzato has it. Hornquist all the way across out of the reach of Taylor Beck. Ballard for Minnesota takes a hit as he plays it to Niederreiter. And it comes out to center. Nystrom plays it back to safety in his own zone. Takes the return pass, then tried to send one ahead. Looking to spring Fisher into the Minnesota zone. Delzato back to pick it up. Watched by Niederreiter. Brodziak tried to jump around Nystrom. Wild were able to hold the zone for a moment. Smith plays it back to Delzato, and now the Predators come to center. Legwand back into his own zone. Cook intercepts a long pass. Niederreiter relays it in. Hutton will play it behind the goal for Nashville. 10.5 to go in the second. The Predators have tied it on Smith's second goal of the night. Legwand carries to the Minnesota line. Bourque tipped it in, but the Wild are quickly back the other way. Mitchell fights off a check, got a shot away that was blocked. Recovers the puck to Prosser at the point. Back into the corner for Fontaine. Fontaine got it to Haula, who taps to Mitchell, but he was knocked down. And Bartley has it for Nashville.
Traditionally, this is the kind of game you see from Nashville. Very patient, almost waiting, awaiting, and looking for transition style hockey.
They've been scoring more goals lately. Last 10 games, they've averaged 3.2 goals per night. They've scored 4 or more in 6 of their last 10. After they reached that number just twice in the previous 14. Kemper with a save. Rebound clear to the boards. Then Fisher wheels and fires. Hornquist after it on the far side to Nystrom in behind the goal. Spurgeon had it for a moment. Nystrom has it back. Nystrom scored 4 goals himself in one of those games. One of 5 NHL players to score 4 in a game this year. Weber fires. That was tipped by Hornquist just wide.
Yeah, that's a frustrating game when you score 4 goals and your team still loses.
Beaten by Calgary 5-4 that night. Parisi spins to Suter. He fires. Saved by Hutton. Long rebound. Suter couldn't catch up with it. And Brodin now has it at center. Roman Josi hits the Minnesota line and dumps it in. Prosser knocks it out of the air to Charlie Coyle. And now Brodin with it. Zucker at center. Across to Heatley. Drops for Zucker. Zucker fires and a save by Hutton. And we get a break. Minnesota and Nashville even at 2.
Well, Spurgeon back in the lineup, playing a big role here alongside Suter. Last game was his first back after being out for 14, and loved the way he jumped up into the play here. He was very instrumental in some of the offense in that game. Of course, 2 assists, but more importantly, some of his zone exits were great. Picked his head up, made the simple play, found guys, and got out of the zone with that one pass, which you want to see from defensemen. So good to see him back in the lineup, and very timely, too, because Scandella went out 55 seconds into that game and now is out for a few weeks. And good timing, I guess, as any for him, as Scandella will be out for a few weeks. But, well, this is the Wild's last game for a few weeks.
Wild got great news on the Scandella front. The knee was just sprained, and the timing couldn't be much better. He'll miss, obviously, tonight's game, but Mike Yeo said yesterday that it wouldn't be out of the question for him to be ready to return right out of the Olympic break, and that he might miss only 1 game.
Yeah, when you saw it, you wouldn't have thought that.
Face-off here coming in the Nashville zone. Wild right now not affected a tremendous amount of the blue line because of the fact that they have 7 defensemen here that, when healthy, have been playing very well this season. Clayton Stoner was a scratch on Tuesday night against Tampa. He slides back into the lineup tonight, paired with Keith Ballard right here. Ballard banks it off the end boards. Niederreiter and Josi collide. They'll be teammates in a week. Cullen battles with Niederreiter. Weber plays it around behind for Josi. Josi's pass at center was behind Gaustad. And Stoner's back to pick it up for Minnesota. Tried to avoid a Gaustad hit. Stoner comes back with the puck as Gaustad slow to get back to his feet behind the play. Cook looking for Brodziak. He's tied up. Niederreiter wins a battle along the boards for the puck. Nino Niederreiter with it for Minnesota. Game-winning goal or first goal rather, for Niederreiter against Tampa here Tuesday. Assisted on the first goal tonight. Smith taps it to the Minnesota line. And the puck deflects off of Ballard and out of play. 2-2 tie at the Xcel Energy Center.
Welcome back. We got a 2-2 hockey game. We're on the bench with Jason Pominville. You guys had a good first period. Nashville, a little pushback here. How do you retake control?
Yeah, that was to expect. I think they're a good team. They do a lot of good things. We gotta make sure we keep getting pucks deep and capitalize on a few opportunities we got, and we'll be fine.
Thanks a lot. Good luck. Guys, up to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Jason Pominville's been scoring regularly for Minnesota lately. 6 points in his last 6 games. Spurgeon behind the net. He echoed the thoughts of Mike Yeo earlier today. Yeo saying that he thought this Nashville team, with the recent push, has climbed back into the playoff race. He said, I'd imagine we'll see a team tonight that plays like their season's on the line. Weber brings one off the post. Second post the Predators have hit tonight.
We know Weber can bring it. 2 posts actually, and then that last goal, which did clink off the crossbar. But you don't want to let him shoot from this proximity. See it float over the cheater of Darcy Kemper.
Weber again a high-scoring defenseman. 38 points this year on 15 goals and 23 assists. Fontaine for Minnesota. 3-on-3 at the Nashville line. Feathers it ahead for Mitchell. Saved by Hutton.
And Fontaine took a stick up high, and there's no call on the play. He heads off, and then he gets hit by a puck on an attempt to shoot it on the net, and he's going back down the tunnel towards the locker room. Wow, a double whammy there for Fontaine, but I think the high stick is really his concern.
Prosser holds. His shot deflects wide. Haula behind the net. Heatley back to Haula. Haula's pinned to the wall. And the Predators are able to play to center. Prosser's there to intercept for Minnesota. Haula fires it off the end glass. Ballard plays it out to neutral ice. Zucker got a piece of it. It deflects into the Minnesota zone, however, and Ballard's back to pick it up. Watched by Nystrom as he got it to Heatley. Zucker across for Charlie Coyle. Coyle takes a hit as he enters the Nashville zone, and the Predators are back with Hornquist. Zucker catches up with the play and ties him up in the corner. 3 Wild players involved in the scrum behind the net. It's Zucker that comes away with the puck. Got it to the line, but Bartley holds. Centering pass intercepted by Heatley. Heatley pushes ahead for Zucker. Zucker flips it in from the Nashville blue line. Tried to beat Bartley to the puck. And those players go down, and we're going to get a penalty against Nashville. Minnesota goes on the power play after Fontaine takes a puck in the face. 2-2. Victor Bartley goes for hooking. And Minnesota goes on the power play. Our Sanford Health injury report.
Well, Stamkos just revealing that his leg is not healed enough, so his teammate, in 2 different occasions, will replace him. St. Louis heads over. Sedin announced today he has a rib injury that has not healed. That will hurt Sweden's chances. And Marian Gabbert also will not recuperate enough to head over. Of course, we're still keeping an eye on Mikko Koivu, but no decision has been made on him for Team Finland.
All made our picks for the gold medalists. Nobody picked the Finns. They are the only team with medals in 4 of the last 5 Olympics. I asked Mikko about that, always going in as the underdog, and he said, I don't mind as long as we get a medal. Ryan Suter, long pass sends Parise in. Parise fires high and wide. He was tied up a little bit by Josi on the play. And the faceoff looks like it'll come outside the Nashville zone.
Breezy with a little discussion there at the referee. I think he felt he had a good opportunity and just sails this one a little bit high. Definitely had a leg on him, had a rolling puck though. You see him lean into the player in order to give himself an opportunity for maybe a cleaner shot.
This is the third power play chance of the night for Minnesota. They're 1 for 2. This is the first time they've had trouble gaining control of the offensive zone. Nystrom pinned to the boards by Suter. Pominville to Suter behind the net. Good pressure by Nashville when a man short. Parise catches up with a puck at center. Brings it into the Nashville zone with speed. Back to Pominville. Pominville chases down a rolling puck. Sets up in the corner. Tried to go all the way across to Granlund. That was intercepted and cleared, and the Wild will change. Ryan Suter brings it ahead for the Wild. Taps it back to Zucker. Zucker to Niederreiter. Niederreiter worked his way to the middle. Back to Suter and across to Brodin. Brodin fires. Save Hutton. And the rebound controlled by Coyle. Suter to Brodin. A one-timer just wide. And the rebound caroms it back out to center ice. And that'll just about do it in the Wild power play. Charlie Coyle fires from the boards. It was deflected. Niederreiter there to play it for the Wild. Predators are back at full strength. Minnesota's 1 for 3 on the power play. Charlie Coyle up against the end boards. Worked out front of the backhand. Saved by Hutton. Pushed the rebound wide. And Nystrom starts back for Nashville. Nystrom reaches center ice and dumps it in. Wild have outshot the Predators tonight 16-11. Only goal of the second period scored by the visitors. Craig Smith, his second of the night. And we stand even. Just over 2 minutes left here in the middle period. Roman Josi. Had it go just out of his reach. Brodziak keeps it alive. Mitchell knocks it down. Loose puck. Matt Cook fires. Saved by Hutton. A terrific glove save by the Predator goaltender.
Oh, he has really held this team in here. Made 3 or 4 saves, great A saves here in this period, and most of them have been when his team's killing a penalty.
Mitchell's pass off the mark at center ice. Wild forced to shuffle their lines a bit with Justin Fontaine. Knocked out of the game moments ago when he took a puck to the face. Brodziak behind the net. Has it knocked away by Legwand. Cook able to keep it alive for a moment. Now the Wild will change as the Predators set up with less than a minute and a half to go. It's the 4th meeting out of 5 between the teams this year. Wild have won 2 of the first 3, both by shutout. They will meet again here in St. Paul on the final day of the season, April 13th. Spurgeon ahead to Pominville. Tried to go cross ice. It was intercepted. Clune pokes to the corner. Looking for Cullen out front. Cullen behind the net. Centered for Gaustad. He couldn't handle it cleanly. And it comes back out to center ice. Josi to Clune, who relays in. Kemper leaves it behind the net. Spurgeon down it to Pominville at the line. But Predators able to hold. And Suter has to go back after it once more. Jared Spurgeon fires wide. Coyle goes back down low for Parise. Parise recovers the puck. Got it to Pominville. Pominville centered for Coyle. He was tied up on the play. And there's going to be another Nashville penalty. As Charlie Coyle broke for the net, he was hooked on the play. Brodin plays across. Delayed call coming against Nashville. And it looks like Minnesota will just let the period run out and get the full 2 minutes to open the final period.
Well, they've had opportunities on the power play. They need to get them to go. Hutton's made some great saves.
The hooking call means Minnesota will open the third period with 2 minutes on the power play. Our Window Concepts game reset. Parise with his 10th power play goal of the season. Had Minnesota on top, but Craig Smith tied it with his second of the night. And we are even after 2. We'll have our Wells Fargo prep update. And Kevin Gord with the Team USA captain, Zach Parise. 2-2 after 2 in St. Paul. Wild 2, Predators 2 after 2 in St. Paul. Fox Sports North welcomes the 19th annual Minnesota Vikings Arctic Blast Snowmobile Rally, benefiting the Vikings Children's Fund February 8th and 9th in the Lake Mille Lacs area. You can be current Vikings players, alumni, and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on the More tab for complete event details.
Well, number 1 unit out there again for the Wild. Starting the period as it was a delayed call at the end of the second, and the Wild let the clock wind down, so they get a fresh 2 minutes here to go to work. Some great opportunities on the power play in that second frame.
Wild 1 for 3 tonight, 3 for 10 this season against Nashville. And now we are set. Gostad wins the draw against Granlund. He's one of the league's best on the faceoff dot. Suter and Gostad battle along the boards. Danny Heatley at center ice for Minnesota. Drops it back to Granlund. Wild gained the zone. Granlund knocked down. Heatley picks up the puck. Tried to get it to Parise. It was in his skates. Weber had it for a moment. Heatley to the point. Granlund across to Suter. Suter waits. Still with it. Didn't like his shooting lane, so goes back up high for Pominville. Back to Suter. Granlund. Parise down low. To Suter. It's poked away by Gostad and cleared, but not all the way down as it hit a linesman. Heatley brings it back in for Minnesota. Heatley fakes the shot. Got it to Granlund in the circle. Granlund spins away from Nystrom. Tried to play it down low for Parise. It deflected on goal, and Hutton hangs on.
You see it so often. The minute a team bobbles a puck, the defenders on a penalty kill are on them. That is typically the formula that they use. You don't want to force too much when the other team is in control, but the minute that the Wild bobbled that one, it went right out of the zone. They did catch a break going off the linesman's skate.
Coyle on the offensive zone draw for Minnesota. Brodin waits. Thought about it. Passed on the shot. Goes to Spurgeon. Coyle tried to slip it across. It was deflected and cleared. Looked like Spurgeon was probably going for Zucker on that play, but Coyle intercepted on the way.
Well, Nashville's done a good job of locking down passing lanes. Wild have to do it a little bit quicker if they're going to get them through.
Niederreiter fires. Hit traffic and never reached the net. And the Predators carry back the other way with Seth Jones. Flips it into the Minnesota zone with 20 seconds left on the Wild power play. Jonas Brodin carries out for the Wild. Zucker at center. Into the Nashville zone to Niederreiter. Back to Zucker. Zucker to the point for Suter. Just does hold the zone. Nashville's back at full strength. Suter shot blocked. And fortunately for Suter, he was able to get just enough of Mosher. And Mosher may have tripped himself on the play, but took away a breakaway chance for the Predators. Zucker dumps it in. Wild change. 5 aside, about 2.5 minutes into the third period. Legwand fires right on, and a save by Kemper. He hangs on. Kemper hasn't been extraordinarily busy tonight, only 12 shots for Nashville.
But here's the problem. When you play a patient team like Nashville, and as I said earlier, they're traditionally a patient team. The problem is that eventually they're going to get a couple chances, and when your goaltender's been not very busy all night, that's where the mental focus really comes in to the game for Darcy Kemper.
Wild have had a shots on goal advantage in the series against Nashville all season long, including tonight, 105-76 in Minnesota's favor. Over 3 games and 2 periods. Hornquist on the wraparound, and Kemper just got there in time. Cook scoops it up on the far side for Minnesota. Races through neutral ice. Looking for Brodziak. It was deflected by Jones. And the puck comes back the other way. Stoner to retrieve for Minnesota. Clayton Stoner reaches center ice and dumps it in. Mitchell, Niederreiter, and Haula, the forward trio for the Wild right here. Hutton has it knocked away by Haula. Stoner pinches, trying to hold the zone, but the Predators able to come to center. And now Keith Ballard backpedals in his own end. Ballard across to Stoner. Stoner to Niederreiter. Niederreiter slips it further in, but it deflects out of play as he was trying to get it to Haula. And we'll get a face-off in the Nashville zone.
I think Niederreiter's game is really coming along this year. He's been physical right from the start, and he's been unafraid to go to the top of the crease right from the start. And that's a couple things that you want to see consistency in a young player. Scored last game, but you want to see his scoring maybe up a couple notches here. Maybe that Olympic experience will give him a little bit of boost that he needs. As the Wild have 23 games down the stretch coming out of the break.
Suter plays it in for Minnesota. And the Central Division race tighter and tighter every day. Smith fires off the post. A third post hit by the Predators tonight.
3 posts and 1 crossbar, and the crossbar was part of a goal.
Weber fires, and it's gloved and held by Kemper.
Well, most goaltenders will tell you I made a miss because that's not a shot on goal. But from this angle, a pretty good one at that. Inside the face-off dots is always a very good angle, and it just clanks, and you can tell that it was very close to going in because it caught the inside of the post going across in behind Darcy Kemper. The other ones went off the other way.
Hornquist on the draw against Haula. Haula wins for Minnesota. Yossi starts back for Nashville. Predators came into play tonight last in the Central Division, but their 6-2-2 surge has them very much in the playoff picture. Haula fires. That's deflected by Hutton. Hornquist picks it up. Coyle knocks it away, and now we're going to get a penalty against Danny Heatley. He'll go for tripping, and Nashville goes on the power play.
Minnesota penalty, 15 trip.
Well, here's where you don't want this to become a 50-50 game, as Mike Yeo often refers to it as, and that means you're in a situation where even an errant bounce or something off a player, off a post, something could go in the net, or in this situation, you're in the offensive zone, and you end up taking an offensive zone penalty, and then have to kill it off here.
Fisher in the corner. Got it to Legwand. Yossi across to Weber. Weber, a long shot, got through. Kemper steers to the corner. First power play chance of the night for Nashville. And there's a shorthanded chance for Brodziak. Brodziak on the backhand, saved by Hutton. Predators are the only team in the National Hockey League that has not allowed a shorthanded goal, and Brodziak nearly broke that streak right there. Spurgeon Tussles with Fisher behind the net. Josi able to hold. Here's Weber. Leg long. Goes all the way across for Josi. Caught it in his skates. Now fires and it deflects wide. Weber holds his own across for Josi. Pressured by Cook. Spurgeon with it for Minnesota and gets a big clear.
Wild clearly don't want Weber to have that pass and that shot. He has that bomb of a shot that we talked about. So anything they can do to take it away, they'll try.
45 seconds left. Case of Nashville power play.
Quick whistle blown, but watch this. Watch how Matt Cook attacks his blue line, and look where he goes. He takes away that D-to-D pass, forcing the puck back down low. And you can see that Nashville is desperately trying to get it and eventually do get it across to the right side where Weber is. But boy, do they not want him to have that shot, especially on the power play. And Matt Cook did a pretty good job of trying to eliminate that passing lane. Quick whistle blown, and not sure what the confusion is, but face-off right now set to come to the left of Hutton.
Draw controlled by the Predators. Ellis leaves it behind the net. Takes a return pass and starts back. Drops it back for Jones at center. Into the Minnesota zone. Wilson puts on the brakes. Centers for Smith, who tips it just wide. Wilson recovers again. Fires from the boards. That goes over the top of the net. Jones to Prosser. Prosser forces it out of the zone for Minnesota. Just 10 seconds left in the Nashville power play. Smith, 2 goals already tonight. 4th time this year he's done that. Jones sends to the corner. Wilson hit by Brodin. Heatley's back. The Wild are at full strength. And Minnesota's now killed 16 of their last 17 shorthanded situations. Prosser tips ahead for Heatley. Heatley comes to center for Minnesota. Plays across. Charlie Coyle brings it in. Coyle centered. Was looking for Parise, breaking for the net on the weak side. It was just out of his reach. Stoner picks it up at center for Minnesota. Got it ahead to Coyle. Coyle splits 2 defenders but lost the puck. Zucker pokes it along the end boards. Intercepted by Jones, who starts back for Nashville. At center, the Predators are 3-on-2 at the Wild line. Bolger's shot tipped just wide by Bork. Bork banks it off the boards to Josi. Across to Weber. Weber fires, and Kemper gloves a shot that was headed wide and hangs on. Still tied at 2.
Just over 12 minutes to go. Still a 2-2 game. Time to look around the division with some Central Intelligence as Cup contenders. Tonight we're meeting in St. Louis. No Chara for the Bruins, who was allowed to leave early to carry the flag for Slovakia in the opening ceremonies. They're down 2-0 to the Blues. The Jets were hot, but they were grounded in Washington tonight. They fell 4-2 guys. Wheeler also had been hot. He was kept off the score sheet, and Landeskog kept it going for the Avs as far as the score sheet goes, but they fall to the Flyers tonight 3-1.
Thank you very much, Kevin. The 7-team Central Division, the only division in the league where you could say that every team is a legitimate playoff contender. Last place Nashville, only 4 points behind Vancouver. The Canucks would be the second wild card team if the playoffs were to start tonight. What a race right now with Vancouver, a point ahead of Phoenix and Dallas, 2 ahead of Winnipeg, and 4 ahead of these Predators.
And the Wild have a fairly aggressive schedule down the stretch. They're coming out of that Olympic break. Most teams, if not all, will be healthy, which also adds to the interest coming down the stretch.
Parise. Granlund corrals the puck, got it to Pominville, who fires, and it deflects up and into the netting. It'll be an offensive zone faceoff for Minnesota. Our Toyota get caught up. It was 1-1 When Zach Parise scored on the power play for Minnesota, his 10th of the year on the power play, 19th overall. It was 2-1 for the Wild. But then Craig Smith with a brilliant deflection. His second of the night. Tied it for Nashville. That's where we stand nearing the halfway point of the third.
Now, both Wild goals, you got to give a check mark next to the assists. One by Niederreiter, who played really well along the wall to give it to Brodin, and the other one to Danny Heatley for drawing so many Predators towards him and then dishing it to Parise so he had some time to fire it home.
Brodin banks it off the boards and out. Predators send it right back in, and Ryan Suter is there for the Wild. Long pass finds Cook. Cook carries it in. Works around Wilson. Flips a backhander toward the net. Hutton steers to the corner, but Cook's the first man there. Brodziak tied up by Del Zotto. Niederreiter joins the fight for Minnesota. 2 on each side as they try and dig it loose behind the Nashville goal. Wilson emerges, tripped by Niederreiter, and Nashville will go on the power play once more. Ballard thought he had touched the puck at the line. No whistle. Delayed penalty coming against Minnesota. Centering pass for Wilson. And as the Wild gain control, we get the call in the second Predator power play of the third period.
Even though the Wild are taking the play to Nashville, Nashville's just standing pat. And another offensive zone penalty. Boy, that wasn't much of a trip if it was one. Well, actually did have it around his laces. I didn't see that. The white tape kind of threw me off on the stick. Didn't look like he had it wrapped, but he did have the old hook around the laces. That's a second offensive zone penalty in this period. Remember, Heatley took one, and now Niederreiter.
Josi with a long shot that goes just wide. Haula to Granlund, and it deflects into the Minnesota bench. The Wild penalty kill has been very good lately coming into tonight's game. 93.8%, 15 of 16 over their last 6 games. Only Montreal, Chicago, and St. Louis better on the kill over that stretch.
And you're surprised that with Parise back in the lineup, that adds to the PK.
That and the improved play of Erik Haula.
Absolutely.
Who's been a big part of the penalty kill. I asked Mike Yeo about it yesterday, and he said he not only plays fast, but he thinks the game fast. And that's allowed him to become a very valuable part of the Wild penalty kill. Weber brings it around to the far side. Josi pinches to hold the zone. Hornquist out front, tied up. And Spurgeon not able to clear. Fisher intercepts. Fisher tries to go to the weak side. Parise got a stick on it. A centering pass intercepted by Spurgeon and cleared. Halfway through this Nashville power play. Weber bobbled it. Brodziak out front. Couldn't get a shot away. Smith carries in. Ellis waits. Plays to Smith along the boards. Smith all the way across for Jones. Back to Ellis. Jones winds and fires. It's blocked by Prosser. Prosser is able to clear.
Well, Brodziak, who's trying to take every advantage he can. This is the second one of the game for him, short-handed, where he's had an opportunity. He just waited too long, and Hutton did have it locked down, but just too much time expended at the side of the net there. But Cal Brodziak, you could say he's snake-bit, plays a defensive role, so not always asked to score a ton of goals. You know, but in situations like that, he's had 2 short-handed opportunities in this game and would, I'm sure, love to have had one of them go. That one probably the best chance, but really was trying to buy himself some time and space to put that puck somewhere, but Hutton locked it down and Weber was able to recover in time.
Face off in the Minnesota zone. 14 seconds left in the Nashville power play. Weber fires. It was blocked. Granlund to Haula. Haula shorthanded for Minnesota. Dumps it in. He's the first man on the puck. Haula banks it off the inboards, trying to get it to Granlund. Niederreiter's back. The Wild are at full strength. Predators bring it back in with Hornquist. He fires wide. Nystrom was trying to get to the weak side post in time to deflect. Parise to Pominville. Tried to go back to Parise, just out of his reach. Suter fires, and it's gloved and held by Hutton. Wild and Predators deadlocked at 2. Wild and Predators tied at 2. Just past the halfway point of the third. Our Bud Light What's on Tap ice hockey portion of the Olympics begins February 12th. Team USA will open on February the 13th. The playoff portion starts on the 18th.
Yeah, and that Slovakia game where the U.S. plays right away in the tournament, it's not going to be a gimme game. Slovakia mostly filled up with European players who will already be in Europe. They don't have to acclimate to any time change. Plus, they're more used to that wider, bigger ice surface. So the U.S. will be challenged early, but hopefully the time between now and between the time when they get there and the 13th when they play will be enough for them to kind of get used to the time and everything like that.
Bourque catches up with a puck in the Minnesota zone, flips a backhander on goal, knocked down by Kemper. Parise. At center for Pominville, who deflects it into the Nashville zone, but the Predators quickly play it back, and Kemper leaves it for Suter. Danny Heatley picks up the puck for Minnesota across to Brodin. Zucker trying to catch up with a Karam in the corner. In behind for Coyle. Coyle tied up by Bartley. Heatley bumped from behind by Clune. Coyle has it for Minnesota. Coyle knocked to the ice by Bartley. On a physical play in the corner, Gaustad got it ahead for Wilson. Wilson works his way around Brodin and then fires wide. Ellis with a shot that's deflected wide. Coyle takes another hit. Zucker has it for Minnesota at center, across to Heatley, and they're offside at the line as Prosser drifted in.
Oh, and Heatley gets physical there. A lot of physical play on Charlie Coyle in that shift. Charlie Coyle, though, initiating plenty of it, which is great to see. But Danny Heatley steps in there and asserts himself a little bit. We'll see if they drag these guys off to the box. There's Coyle mixing it up in the corner. That was with Wilson earlier on. It was in the offensive zone, but then Danny Heatley takes exception, and I don't think they're going to throw anybody in the box for this one.
They'll just bring the faceoff outside the line because the Minnesota defenseman drifted down to help sort things out.
Is that what they're doing? Sorting?
Just making sure that the yellow guys knew which way to go. Matt Cook at center for Minnesota flips it in. Wild had leads of 1-0 and 2-1 in this game. Niederreiter to Brodziak behind the net, tied up by Delzato. Niederreiter in to pick up the puck for the Wild, leaves it for Cook, and now Brodziak. Brodziak plays it back down low. Niederreiter shoved up against the glass from behind by Jones. Brodziak just out of the reach of Niederreiter. Niederreiter then hit again by Jones and goes to the ice. Cook pushing and shoving with Jones behind the play. Linesman trying to separate them as play goes on at the other end of the rink. Niederreiter bumps with Nystrom. Josi trying to catch up with it. He holds, but only for a moment. Haula's back to Mitchell. Mitchell lost it just inside the Nashville line. Legwand spins to the far side, drops to the point for Josi, a shot. And that flutters wide after it was tipped. Fontaine out it to the Nashville line, trying to catch up with a puck. Mitchell finally handles the deflection off a skate. Loved and dropped by Hutton. 6-1-1 in his last 8 games. After his previous 6, had seen him go winless with a save percentage of 86.5. He's been sharp tonight. Weber back in his own zone for Josi. Yossi's long pass deflected. Kemper pushes it aside for Prosser. Out to center ice where Josi has it. To Weber. And back into the Minnesota zone. Kemper leaves it there for Stoner. Granlund has it for the Wild. 4.5 to go. Granlund into the Nashville zone. Fires on goal. And it's held by Hutton. We'll have a preview of what's coming up on Wild Live next.
Inviting you to stick around after the game for Wild Live presented by CenturyLink. Tom Chorske and I will discuss the Wild's power play continuing success with their 5th straight game with a power play goal. We'll hear from the head coach Mike Yeo. We'll also give you a preview of the Olympics hockey tournament, and also we've got our Dairy Queen on ice instructional. So all you young hockey players out there, you're going to want to stick around for this. Ben Clymer with the Faribault Falcons talking how to play pucks off of the wall. It's another important skill that can help you improve your game. And it's coming up next on Wild Live.
Thanks, Jamie. Wild in their final game before the Olympic break. Trying to position themselves for the playoff push that will begin immediately when games resume in late February. Kemper to play this. Wild got a little help tonight as the team chasing them for the wild card spots. The Vancouver Canucks beaten by Montreal 5-2. And how about this night for Max Pacioretty? He missed 2 penalty shots less than 2 minutes apart and yet still finished the game with a hat trick.
He's been putting up some serious numbers.
Parise just inside the Nashville line. Pominville with a shot saved by Hutton. Suter back to Parise and across to Pominville. Pominville to Parise in the middle, tried to deflect it back to Suter. And Suter will have to retreat through neutral ice. Parise tied up by Weber. Parise then cross-checked into the boards, and a penalty coming against Weber. Minnesota goes on the power play with 3:17 left.
Well, you always take a risk when you take a player out like that, especially up high, if he doesn't have his balance.
Next minute, 6 minutes for Grush.
A lot of work in the corner. Parise gets it, but then gets a cross-check on the hip and just throws him into the corner. Parise was already toe-picking. Dangerous, but he doesn't collide with the boards, thank goodness.
Mike Yeo is going to take his time out to allow his top line to rest. They were on the ice, obviously, when this penalty was called. And it's the 5th power play chance of the night for the Wild.
I don't know if that gasp that we heard was a Wild gasp or a USA Olympic hockey gasp. When Parise went down, but he's no worse for the wear. And yeah, you're right. Mike Yeo has probably seen a lot of good things about this power play so far in this game, but it hasn't connected after Parise did early in the game.
Just as we head into the Olympic break, take a look at how tight things are in the West. Top 3 in each division advance, so even though Minnesota has more points than the Kings, they would have to fight for a wild card spot. The Canucks were beaten tonight. Phoenix, Dallas, Winnipeg, and Nashville all just barely on the outside looking in.
And as much as we say it's difficult for teams to catch each other going down the stretch because of those extra points that teams gain, you do get on a roll sometimes, and all it takes is one of them to really get hot.
Very important power play for Minnesota, and Josi's able to clear. Suter leads the rush for Minnesota. Spurgeon plays it back to Suter. Bit of a different look on the power play for Minnesota as they go with Jared Spurgeon rather than Danny Heatley on this top power play unit. Spurgeon centers for Pominville. He was tied up. Parise back to the point for Suter. Suter gives it to Parise. Parisi fires. Pad save by Hutton. Granlund out to the point for Suter. Across to Spurgeon. Spurgeon with some room. To Granlund. Granlund waits, fires, and a save by Hutton. Spurgeon holds. Back to Suter. Down low for Zach Parisi and back to Suter. Across to Spurgeon. Wanted the shot, instead goes to Granlund. To Spurgeon up high. Suter. Less than a minute in the power play. Spurgeon centers. Pominville tipped it just wide. Pominville recovers the puck to Parisi and now to Suter. Suter fires. Save Hutton. Rebound. Granlund had one shot. Hutton down. Still no whistle. And finally it's blown dead. And we'll get a face-off in the Nashville zone.
Well, a few extra shots on Mikael Granlund by the Predators D, trying to keep him away. He had a couple good chances on this power play. This one makes it all the way through, looking for the deflection and then for the rebound, and he goes pitchforking away and then gets into a bit of a mix-up with the Swiss defender. Likely mix it up with him in the Olympics. I see him trying to poke away at the puck sitting between the pads. It's technically loose there, but Hutton was trying to gather it up. I like that kind of tenacity, though, around the net. You know you're going to pay a price anyway. You might as well get a couple extra pokes at it.
Ballard for Brodin. Fires just off target. Ballard holds his own for Minnesota. Heatley scoops it up along the boards. Heatley centered for Niederreiter and handcuffed him. Brodin back to Ballard. Sends across for Coyle, and then Heatley has his redirect go just wide. Niederreiter centers. Heatley with a couple of whacks at it. Then he's knocked to the ice. Ballard cannot hold, and the puck comes back into the Minnesota zone. Power play over as Ballard is back in for the Wild. Centered it. Coyle has it. Fires. Saved by Hutton. Just over a minute left as Weber races to center for Nashville. Into the Minnesota zone. Ballard for the Wild. Ahead for Heatley. Heatley comes to center and flips it in. Niederreiter in on the forecheck for the Wild. Wilson emerges with the puck for the Predators. Watched by Brodziak. To Hornquist, who tips to center. Spurgeon got it to Cook, who drops it back to Suter. Suter all the way across for Zucker. He fires wide. Rebound caroms back out to center, and Ryan Suter has it there. Half a minute left. Spurgeon rims it in. Brodziak pokes to the point. Spurgeon winds and fires. It was blocked. Cook has it. Cook fires off the wall. Saved by Hutton. Rebound controlled by Wilson. And Gaustad now has it at center. Gaustad with a long one. Knocked down by Kemper. And the rebound is deflected out of play. Faceoff will come in the neutral zone with 9 seconds left.
Well, it truly has been a chance night for the Minnesota Wild. They've peppered Hutton. Heatley had a couple of good whacks at it on the power play. A lot of the Wild's chances actually have come on the power play, so they can't be disappointed with their opportunities. Heatley gets a little bit of a slew foot there by Fisher after he takes a couple of whacks at it, but the Wild getting some great opportunities, and it's been Hutton holding them off. Hutton 4-1-1 coming into this game in his last 6.
And we will head to overtime here in St. Paul. Wild with a 33-17 edge in shots. But the only number that matters, Wild 2, Predators 2. Overtime is next. Overtime in St. Paul between the Wild and the Predators. Minnesota has had a number of great scoring chances.
Well, not for lack of trying, no question. The Wild have had some good looks in this hockey game. They peppered Hutton in this one, badly outshooting the Nashville Predators 33-17 in the game. A lot of those with a man advantage. Hutton just kept getting in front of them and getting some help by his D as well, as they're physical in front of their own net. But the Wild just looking for the 2 points, regardless of how they get it.
Overtime records. Nashville 2-2 in games actually decided in the overtime prior to a shootout. Minnesota 1-3 in games decided by an actual game flow goal. Charlie Coyle into the Nashville zone. Coyle fires, saved by Hutton, and he covers the rebound.
Charlie Coyle's had a strong game. I like his aggressive nature in this one, protecting the puck, working it through traffic, down along the end wall. Continue to like that line with Zucker, Coyle, and Danny Heatley. Danny Heatley being the elder statesman on that line. And it's an interesting combination, but it's one that has been working for the Wild.
Spurgeon winds and fires just wide. Pominville broke his stick on the play and had to head to the bench. That forces the Wild to come back into their own zone. Mikhail Granlund races into the Nashville zone. Pominville fires and a save by Hutton.
Now the Wild definitely going with the theory that more shots, the better the opportunity of scoring. Spurgeon rips one through a bit of a screen. Then Pominville tries to use the defender a little bit. And the solace that they take is a face-off in the offensive zone.
Draw controlled by Nashville. Ellis with it for the Predators. Coyle and Parise up front for Minnesota. Ballard and Brodin on defense. Fisher at the Minnesota line, tried to center and hop by Brodin, and Kemper had to make a pad save and a good chance for Bartley. Ballard to Coyle, and Jonas Brodin starts out for Minnesota. Brodin into the Nashville zone, dumps to the corner. Parise's in, battles there with Bartley. Bourque starts back for the Predators to Wilson at center, has it poke checked off of his stick, and the Predators are offside. Face-off coming in the neutral zone.
Well, it's not always an easy night for a goaltender who conversely doesn't see a whole bunch of action, and I'm sure Kemper's going to see those in his sleep. Bouncing pucks coming towards him, and what a save there, because it was batted at the last second, and he came up with a great pad save. Say, you know what? It's not always a goaltender that makes the most saves. That's the most important in here on a given night. Sometimes when you have a low shot total night, it's key saves.
Spurgeon fires, and Hutton with a glove save. Jared Spurgeon, another strong night, as Mike Yeo promised. He would play him with Suter most of the time, but give Suter some other partners throughout the night, because Suter already over 34.5 minutes tonight.
Wow. That exceeds it. Well, last game was 34 and change.
Suter works his way into the circle, tried to center, and it was deflected just wide. Brodziak drops it back to the point for Suter. To Spurgeon, back to Brodziak. It was in his skates. He couldn't get a shot away cleanly. And the Predators are back the other way. Yossi drops for Smith. Now Yossi out of the corner for Nashville. Out to the point. Weber broke his stick. It deflects to Smith, who gloved and dropped. Brodziak tried to poke a backhander ahead for Niederreiter. He does. Niederreiter's into the zone. A shot, score!
I think we talked about it earlier. What's the next step for Niederreiter, who protects the puck, who's physical, who's around the top of the crease? The next step for Niederreiter is putting the puck in the net on a regular basis, and this gives him 2 in a row. Last game and this game, where he just zips one in, uses the defender as a screen, and he puts it blocker side. Hutton was retreating, and look at the attempt at the poke. But Niederreiter actually gets it around him and fires it 5-hole on the defender and blocker side. What a shot by Nino Niederreiter.
Niederreiter is our temp star of the game. Assisted on the first goal tonight. Scores the winner in overtime. And Jamie the Wild head into the break with momentum.
Absolutely. Thank you, Anthony and Mike. We'll break it down next on Wild Live, presented by CenturyLink. A great overtime win for Minnesota, their 5th straight win here on home ice. We'll talk about that power play continuing its success and hear from the head coach next.